The Archivist's Teeth. A dark tale of knowledge that bites back. In the forgotten heart of the city, behind a cathedral long since blackened by time and soot, stood the Hollow Archive. An ancient, half-buried building of narrow staircases and shelves that reached far past the eye's endurance. No one recalled who had built it. The city council denied it appeared on any map. And yet, there it remained. Untouched by fire, untouched by rot, always cold to the bone. It was said the archive held everything, not just books, but truths. The kind of truths no one dared ask out loud. Stories that crawled backward through time, secrets that knew your name before you were born. And deep within the archive lived the Archivist. She had no name. No one had seen her face in decades, if ever. She moved only at dusk. A silhouette glimpsed briefly in the upper stacks. Tall, slight, with fingers too long for comfort, and a jaw that never seemed to move when she spoke. People whispered she wore a mask. Others claimed she had no skin at all, just paper-thin flesh stretched tight over bone, ink running like veins. They said she smiled with her teeth. Not ordinary teeth, yellowed, chipped, far too many, crowding her mouth like pages in a book too tightly bound. When she grinned, candles in the archive flickered with fear. No one dared seek her out, until Julien Karr did. Julien was a scholar obsessed, not with books, but with the hidden mechanics of reality. Not with truth, but proof. He had studied every heretical manuscript, decoded the marginalia of dead philosophers, even spent a month blindfolded in the catacombs beneath Vorin Abbey, eating moss, licking bone for spiritual insight. But he wanted more. He wanted the first lie, the one all truths were built to conceal. He wanted the first lie, the one all truths were built to conceal. So he came to the Hollow Archive. The door opened for him without touch. The air inside was still, heavy with breathless knowledge. The shelves towered. The lights were dim, flickering with a rhythm that made his spine itch. He wandered for what felt like hours, days. Then, he heard her voice. "You've come to ask. You've come to take." Julien turned slowly. There she stood. Or rather, hung. Suspended between two rows of shelves, like a marionette on invisible strings. Her mouth did not move, but her teeth showed. Julien bowed, more from fear than respect. "I seek the truth that predates language, the truth older than God." The archivist tilted her head. Books groaned softly all around him. He felt a tightening in his chest, as if every word he had ever spoken was suddenly being recorded. "You may have it, but you must carry it." Julien agreed. Obsession rarely listens to warning. She reached into her own chest and pulled out a single page. Small, ancient, still wet with ink that writhed like ants. She fed it to him, slipping it between his lips, like a communion wafer. He swallowed. Then he screamed. The truth did not nest. It burrowed. It scraped against his ribs, clawed up his spine, chewed through the folds of his mind. Names he had never heard poured into his thoughts. He saw things. How cities were born from hatred. How language was a leash. How even time bowed to something deeper. His body began to change. His mouth widened. His teeth cracked, then doubled, then tripled. His voice shrank. His eyes wept ink. He tried to speak, to ask, to beg, but only paper fell from his mouth, curled and whispering. The archivist watched in silence. "You wish to know. Now you remember." When the transformation was done, Julien was no longer human. He became one of the bound, a creature of half-memory and jagged knowledge. Shelved in the forbidden stack, wrapped in chains that whispered his name backwards. And the archive remained. Always cold, always listening. Waiting for the next soul too hungry for truth.